Going on, everyone? Welcome to Inside the Community, the show dedicated to give you an insight on the issues revolved around competitive gaming. And today I'm live with Winrich. How's it going, man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man, good. So, dude, do you remember the first time we ever met at that
Uh,
Anime Castle tournament
yeah, it's been a while.
back in Marvel 3 when no one knew your name and I used to call you Little Daigo?
Everybody did. Yeah, I wasn't really yeah.
Yeah, no, it was
I was,
funny. Let me tell you a story. So I'm you came in really late, right? So I'm playing my match and then I see you sit down. I'm like, "Yo, this little kid's about to get bodied. I don't know why he's here." Right? And then you busted out some crazy combos with Zero back in the day. This was like day 2 vanilla Marvel.
yeah, my zero was
So,
horrible, but it
yeah.
was good.
Yeah, it
It
was
was,
hard, but for the time it was good. You know what I mean? Like you had to
yeah,
look in
definitely.
context. But that was awesome. So going from there, now let's fast forward what 2.5 years later, and
Damn,
now
it's been
you're
that long. It's crazy.
yeah, like you went a long way from being sponsored by local battles and now you're BIFU Techie, right?
Yes.
So how did that transition come in? Like what is the key to your success?
I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's pretty marketable because I am very young and playing these types of games, you don't really see that much young players in the community. So I guess it's pretty marketable.
Yeah, it definitely is. I feel like they could do more to market you better, but just everything will come within time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, definitely. But honestly, now I don't even think it's about marketing now. I think it's more about just me as a player and the skill and
But thing is, you always
So,
get at least what top 16 at majors?
only recently, I've only gotten top 16 on ECT and Guts. Guts, I got second. That's pretty much it. Hopefully, I get top 8 or something at Summer Jam.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll definitely be awesome.
Yep,
Yeah, so
definitely.
you definitely drew a lot of attention to yourself. You're really getting popular. Are there any games besides Marvel 3 that you're playing?
Not really. As people know, they usually I don't have a console.
Oh, okay. So how do you
Yeah.
practice?
I usually practice at my friend Diego's house. You met him,
Yeah.
and yeah, I usually practice at their house where they live a block away from me. So that's where I usually play.
Wow,
And
man.
I practice at tournaments. So I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
Because honestly, Marvel 3 is really easy. So you shouldn't be it's not that hard to practice, especially with the team I use. It's pretty cheap and pretty easy. So yeah.
I played you in other games, like I played you in Street Fighter and stuff, and you're not bad. You ever thought about taking any other games like competitive?
Maybe I don't know. Like with the release on Ultra, Ultra Street Fighter 4, I'm not really into that because the new characters they announced, I really don't like them. I don't like because
Okay, they just
it's just
don't.
like Street Fighter X second characters, and I'm not really interested in them.
Okay, so
Yeah, so I mean, I might, I'll probably play it if I when I get a console, which should be pretty soon. I just haven't been motivated to get one.
that's understandable. So for players who are new to Marvel 3, right? How did you go about picking a team? How did you go about picking characters? And
Well, recently, since my recent success with getting top eights and winning more locals and stuff like that, getting top 3. It's honestly team choices. It's sad to say it, but there are a lot of you have to pick the top tier or have a solid team, a solid team around it. One thing that would help you would be you basic. This is what they usually everybody calls the ultimate 3 formula, which is since a team should be constructed as a good point character, great assist character slash support, and great anchor character, right? Usually that's how teams are set up. So the ultimate formula is basically a point character with Doom Virgil.
okay.
You get Doom Virgil because Doom is an amazing support character, and Doom can cover your point character's damage, your damage by getting infinites, obviously. And you get Virgil, who is like one of the best anchor characters in X Factor, and even without X Factor. So it's pretty good. And that shell itself isn't as like it's not as good as people think, but it's still very good. I think it's a top tier shell. It's like one of the best shells.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. I remember when like Ultimate first dropped, people were saying your point character could be whatever. Your second character should have good synergy with point character, but they should also have options to get out of an incoming mix-up. Because you know when your first character dies, they have to get out of incoming mix-up.
Yes, Doom is very good at that.
Yeah, yeah, of course, because he has a foot dive option. He can air dash, do whatever.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Um. Okay, that's cool. So how do you feel about like the oncoming industrialization of the FGC? You know, a lot of sponsors are getting into it now. There's a lot of money involved. Do you feel like that's the right direction?
I really do. I think it's very good that the FGC is getting this popular. Because honestly, if it wasn't popular, we wouldn't like have be doing all of this, and like people wouldn't be as into this type of stuff, and that would kind of suck. But yeah, this is real. Like I love the FGC. The FGC is a very cool thing.
Yeah, but
It's very fun.
then there's some people who believe that's the wrong direction to go because they're taking away, like the personalities of the FGC will have to change.
Well, I mean, you can, as always, there's always a compromise to things, such as like, you can still have that amazing personality with all like the hype and stuff, but you just gotta like let's just say lower the vulgarity,
Right.
so there wouldn't be as much cursing, which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like a problem to me. I feel that if the players want more money, they want more recognition, they want more, um, a broader audience, they're gonna have to give up a few things. And I think those things are very minor when you look at the broad aspect of it.
Definitely,
Yeah. But now there's like a big thing going on about collusion. You've heard of it, right?
of course.
Yeah. How do you feel about that? Like, some players are saying, "Oh, so I'm not free to choose any character," or, like, how do you feel about that?
Okay, well, this is a very good. This is like very good, right? Honestly, collusion is definitely like more colluding is definitely will definitely like ruin everything for the FGC. Like it will take away all sponsors, as you saw like recently about the sponsors, like very bad, not very good. So, like collusion, it definitely ruins sponsors. Because honestly, that's basically showing that grand finals was a joke.
Right. Okay.
You aren't gonna you're not gonna like you played your hardest to get to grand finals, and you're just gonna throw it away with no effort and no like passion. Honestly, that's what's bad on most levels. First of all, it's bad on the sponsors because it shows that they're taking all the money the sponsors put in as a joke, and it's also bad for the stream, which is as in people will never watch that stream because it's obviously going to be boring.
Right.
And yeah, it just ruins a lot of things. Like it's not even splitting that makes it bad. It's just the thing. Because honestly, splitting, splitting is very
It's
splitting
common.
is very good. It's very good. Like it's good for the players, as in it's like a constellation, which is very good. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it guarantees them something at least.
It guarantees them something, and like it's good. It shows like camaraderie and friendship. So like you should be like for that. Then like you shouldn't have to worry about like funds or anything if you're splitting. So you should honestly give everybody a good show. You should play for pride. Play hard, play very good.
Yeah, definitely. Now who do you think should be responsible for stopping collusion? Do you think it's on the tournament organizers, or do you think it's on the sponsors, or both?
That's a really tough question. Okay. Also, by the way, with collusion, as in like let's say last Wednesday when Chris did that, when like there was whole that whole fiasco on Street Fighter Grand Finals.
Yeah, with Sanford and Chris, right?
Honestly, that wasn't really that big of a deal since it is a local. First of all, it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal, and you know they can play whatever they want. It's a local. That's where you're supposed to practice your stuff.
Right.
Like even if they're laughing and stuff, that's okay. Because you know, honestly, that wasn't cool. And like I've heard some talk about it, like not even being a like Sanford wanted to counterpick Sakura and he used Balrog, so then Chris used Yang, so it was just like that, you know? It was like a blind pick. There you go.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't see many sponsors getting upset about it. The only sponsor I have seen getting upset is Mad Catz, and that was Markman himself. Besides that, that day it was Spooky who put a stop to it.
There's a lot of people that were angry, a lot of sponsors that were angry. There was, I know Aver Media threatened to like drop it.
Oh, really? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, that's obviously not good.
Wow, yeah.
Aver Media threatened to drop it. Mad Catz obviously. So like you know all this big thing, it's pretty bad. So I mean I don't think they should like judge so quickly since it is a local, and honestly they shouldn't really be losing their shit. Sorry about the profanity, but yeah, they shouldn't really be losing that much. Like you shouldn't be getting that mad, you know.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's also conditioning. Like, it's like if we stop them at the local, then they'll probably stop at the major. I mean, you can look
Okay,
at it that way.
yeah, I mean that is good. Conditioning is good because I mean, if you did just stop it at a local, then it would be like a bigger deal. But once you know, since you already know that they stopped it at a local, they'll be like, oh, they'll definitely stop it. You know, it won't be as a surprise as in Wednesday, which is a good idea also. But again, back to your question. I'm sorry about that. About who can stop collusion. I guess you can do what people did on at Wednesday, which was which is basically like stop the two of them from playing and just leave it at that. But honestly, I don't even know what they did with the money that day. So
I believe they played off stream.
they played off stream
Yeah.
because like I looked at the results and they didn't show any place. They just had like hyphens on their names. So I was just like, oh wow.
Yeah.
But basically, right? I think that it honestly, because honestly, the players can do whatever they want because they got to grand finals. They did play their hardest. Still very disrespectful. I mean, I guess the sponsors pulling away from them and their sponsors like threatening them would make it like would make it very hard for them to like just keep on doing that. So they'll obviously have to change. So it's either their sponsors, the TOs, the streamers, or honestly, it could just be newer players that really just want to win.
Yeah, that's true.
If you know what I
There's a few things about that. Like, let's say there's a new player in the scene, right? And
Yes.
you don't know how they play. You don't know the extent of their potential, of their skill. And let's say
Yes.
they somehow get to grand finals or top three or whatever.
Okay.
How would you know if they're colluding and they're not playing to their full extent? You wouldn't.
The thing is, like that's what people they're taking collusion too high. Honestly, they're being too paranoid about the issue.
You feel like people are overthinking it,
They're definitely overthinking it.
right? Yeah,
Like oh, like because I was just watching a stream and they're just like talking about collusion. Like no, people can actually make mistakes. That's all right.
yeah. I don't
They
want to
can't.
like it is the player's fault. I'm not gonna say it's not, but I feel that if there was more money in the scene and if sponsors were to get more involved with the scene and tell them, hey, listen, you guys can't do this, otherwise you'll be suspended, I think that'll really kick it into action.
Definitely, but honestly, like even even with right now, like with the money and everything, even if splitting is definitely okay, right? But right now they should just play it out because honestly, it obviously isn't that hard. It's a video game, as I like posted on my Twitter like many times, definitely. So like that, like really, like they should just play it out. Seriously, they should just play their hardest. Even if it's with a different team, they should play their hardest. On majors, however, you really shouldn't do that.
Yeah,
That's really
definitely
not a
not.
good.
Because
Because they,
if they get to grand finals, right, and
yeah,
people find out they're colluding and they're not playing to the full extent, and they stop it, that looks bad for everybody. It looks bad on the sponsors, the players, the tournament. So it'll be a terrible thing if it ever comes to that. Hopefully not. I'm hoping for the better of the community it doesn't.
yeah, it's really bad right now for the community. So like seriously, um, yeah, I mean, you really should just play. You really should just like, you can do whatever you want in locals. Honestly, that's not even a problem. I don't even know why people made it such a big problem. But like definitely in majors, that's where people from different areas shell out money to play their hardest
Yep.
for this tournament. So, I mean, people should actually just respect that, you know? They should just play their hardest.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Like even though VXG didn't have as much like as big as a tournament and like it was more of like a party thing rather than a tournament, they still should have just done it, you know? Instead, because the stream was watching. Capcom actually flew out to stream it, and
Yeah,
that's kind
Capcom
of
actually sponsored VXG. They
exactly. So
haven't
that's
sponsored the actual tournament for a while, and I believe the last one was last year's Evo.
yeah. All right, the 25th anniversary.
Right, exactly. So,
So yeah, I mean that's kind of like a spit in the face to people that made the game as well. So that's even worse.
right, and for the people that flew out all that
That
way
way.
overseas. So, yeah, definitely. Did you go to VXG by the way?
No, I didn't. I
You
didn't go
didn't.
to VG.
Okay. What about Evo? Did you go to Evo?
No, I didn't go to Evo.
So you've been taking a little break?
Yeah, I took a really big break
That's
playing.
good. That's good. I feel like in order to get further in the game, you have to take a step back sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Because some people get burnt out. I know I did. So you definitely have to take a step back and reevaluate things.
Yeah, and after Guts, I got pretty sick for like 3 weeks.
Oh, really? Like, just like a common cold?
I realized that it was like really bad allergies.
Oh, wow. Alright, well, how are you feeling now?
I'm all right. I just got a physical, so.
Alright, that's good. That's good. I hope you feel much better. Definitely. So, let's talk about the future. What tournaments will you be competing in?
All right, I will be in major tournaments. I will be in Summer Jam. I don't know if I will be going to the Fall Classic since it is on a school day and it is pretty far.
Right.
It's pretty far, and it's all the way in what is it, North Carolina or South Carolina? I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. Somewhere
Yeah.
there.
So yeah, it's pretty far. Maybe honestly, if I really wanted to go, I'm just going to save up my money and just get a plane ticket there and round trip. But yeah, I don't think so. Maybe, hopefully.
Okay, yeah, I hope so. What about NEC?
NEC, I should be going to all the Philly tournaments. Those are very like accessible and like great.
Yeah, that's like 2 hours away.
Yeah, definitely. And also, yeah, BIFU always drives. It's always good. Like, shout out to him. But yeah, like I heard there's gonna be a new major in New York in Queens
Yeah,
this
defend the
Jan.
North.
Yes, this January. Yeah, I really can't wait for that. I didn't
Yeah,
even know. I found it just today.
yeah, definitely. Shout out to City of Brass for that,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Bradley Hall, aka Poem.
Yeah, Poem.
Yeah, I've
He
known
put in
Poem
some
for a
work
while.
like
Yeah,
2 weeks ago.
yeah, definitely. That's gonna be exciting. I just hope that doesn't conflict with Apex too much, because I know Apex is around that time as well.
It's before Apex, so I mean, for the New York people, it'll be really cheap.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait, to be honest with you.
I really can't wait.
Because
But
you have two major tournaments. You have Defender North, which is near us, and then you have Apex, which is again like an hour away.
yeah, which we could just take regular transit.
Right. Yeah. So it's gonna be
Pretty fun.
it's gonna be exciting. Well, thanks for coming on, Winrich. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you at Summer Jam for sure.
Yep, definitely.
And do you want to give any shout outs to anybody? You're free to do so.
No, I mean, shout out to you. Obviously, you got me on the show. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Um, Shout outs to Bifuteki. Shout outs to players that want to win. And even though shout outs to shout outs to just shout outs to the FGC.
Yeah, FGC is a great community. I'm happy to be part of it.
We can't ruin it, guys. We're so close.
Yeah,
We're
we're,
so
we're
close.
so close to getting there. Like, what's League of Legends? Don't worry.
Exactly. Well, yeah, we need to get to there.
Yeah,
But yeah.
alright guys, well follow Winrich on Twitter at NYWinrich and follow me at ITC underscore H Kumar.
Yep. There you
Thanks
go.
again for tuning in guys. I really do appreciate it. Alright, signing out.
All right. See you guys.